guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. I hope you enjoy this video. So today's video is my breast reduction journey. So when I was 17, I had a breast reduction done. I went from a 42 triple H to a 32B. I am aware of the size difference. That's just how I ended up being. So from the time when I was 12, we started noticing that I was developing a lot faster in that area than I should have been. So when I was 12, I went from a 32 triple D up into like an H at 13. So I never really was in like the B's or the C's. It was always just like straight to triple D. And so like every other month, I was telling my mother, this isn't fitting right. Like, it's too small. I need a different size. I need this. And so when I was 15, almost 16, I started considering having the surgery that my mother had, because she had it when I was 12. She had breast reduction done. And so I started considering having it too. But because of my age, I wasn't entirely sure if people, or if like my doctor would refer me, or if the surgeon would even see me. And it ended up being that I was too young. So I waited until I was 16, and I asked my doctor, I said, I really want to have this surgery done. Can I get a referral for a breast reduction? And because I was 16 and I was turning 17 in the next year, I was fully developed by then, and so she referred me to the surgeon that did my mom's surgery. And she originally was hesitant because I was 16, but I was turning 7. I would have been 17 before my surgery happened. So she took a look and said, yep, you are a candidate for this surgery, and we'll get you submitting to OHIP, which is the Ontario Health Insurance Plan for those that are not in Ontario, Canada. So we submitted my stuff to there because it was a medical necessity. They had a chance of paying for it. So when it's a medical necessity like mine was, and it's not a cosmetic thing, they will pay for things like that if you take off a certain amount. So mine was a medical necessity. They ended up coming back saying, yes, we will pay for it. And so OHIP paid for my surgery, and about 4 months later, I was on the operating table having surgery. So I went from a 42 triple H to a 32B, and yes, the size difference is humongous, but that's just how I was made. And so that's kind of how my journey started, was that I was 12 and humongous, and I needed to have surgery done to live. Like, my back was having issues, my shoulders were having issues. It got to the point where it was like my doctor was considering either if the breast reduction didn't work, we need to look at your spine to see if that's what's causing the issues, or if it's you just need a breast reduction. So I had the breast reduction at 17. Best decision I ever did. I can work out perfectly fine now without being hit in the face. I can do all sorts of things. Like in high school, I was walking 5 kilometers a day some days, and I wasn't losing weight because I didn't really have weight to lose. It was more I was in shape, but they still weren't shrinking because it's not weight I needed to lose. It was I needed to get them cut, and I needed to get fat taken off and all that kind of stuff for the breast reduction. So that ended up working perfectly fine. I had it in my last year of high school, so I had it in the March of my last year of high school, and then I graduated in June. So, well, not technically, we graduated in October, but I finished high school in June. So that's how that ended up working. I ended up being the super happy kid after that. The night that I had the surgery, so I went to a different hospital than the one that's local to me. I went to Oakville Hospital, so if you're in the Halton region, that's where I went. I went to Oakville, and so I had it there, and then I stayed at my grandparents' house that day because they live across the street from our hospital, and so just in case anything happened, I could go to the hospital and they could take me, and it wouldn't be like across town. So I stayed there. The next morning I woke up and I went shopping with my grandparents because I was perfectly fine. And so I went there and then I went home that night. And the next morning I actually got up bright and early and I went with my parents to perform because my family is part of this praise band that they were performing, so I went too. And everyone was kind of surprised to see me there. They're like, "You're not sitting in bed resting." Like, no, I'm perfectly fine. And then I went back to school on Monday. So, well, it was March break for us, but I was in online courses and through a different school board that didn't have March break the same time I did. So I ended up working on schoolwork that entire week. But yeah, I was like this perfect happy person afterwards. I'm happy now that I've had it done all these 7 years later. And it's definitely been easier for helping me lose weight after my weight loss, or my weight gain and weight loss. My boobs did shrink back to their regular size that they were. Like if they get bigger, it's because I've gained weight, or there's pregnancy where you can gain some in your boobs and that's why they've grown, but they've definitely gone down in size since I lost all that weight. And yes, I will insert some pictures now, and I hope you guys enjoy this journey with me of learning all about my breast reduction. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or DM me on social media, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.